Hi, I'm Matthew Piccolo, an attorney licensed in Nevada and Utah. In this video, I'll answer this question. Can I request my personnel file from my employer in Nevada? For a variety of reasons, you might want to request a copy of your personnel file from your current or former employer. For example, you might want to see what corrective action your employer has taken against you, or what information your employer used in deciding whether to hire you. Getting access to this information can be especially important if you're considering taking legal action against your employer. Under Nevada law, does your employer have to give you access to your records? Yes. In Nevada, if an employee asks to see his or her personnel file, then the employer must do two things. First, the employer must give the employee a reasonable opportunity during usual business hours to inspect any records used to determine the qualifications of the employee and any disciplinary action taken against the employee, including termination from that employment. Second, it must furnish the employee with a copy of the records. Note, however, that your employer doesn't have to include any confidential reports or investigative files obtained from previous employers or investigative agencies, including information about any arrest or conviction in which you were involved. The employer is also allowed to charge you the actual cost for access to the file and copies of it. Also, your employer doesn't have to give you access to your file unless you've been employed for more than 60 days. Is there a deadline for requesting my file? Well, if you're currently an employee, then you can ask to see your file at any time. But if you've been terminated, then you only have 60 days from the date of your termination to see your personnel file or get a copy of it. What if I want to respond to something in my file or contest it? Nevada law requires your employer to let you submit a reasonable written explanation and direct response to anything written in your personnel file. If you can show that anything in the file is inaccurate or incomplete, then your employer has to change the record accordingly. So what's the best way to request your personnel file? The best way to request it is to submit a written request to the person or department in charge of personnel files, of course. But you also might want to copy anyone else you think should know about your request. Well, that's it for this video. Contact me if you have questions. My website is piccololawoffices.com. Thanks for watching.